Hello everyone, my name is Petroi and welcome back to School of Dragons. Today we are continuing and finishing the All of My Dragons series, which means that today I will show the last remaining dragons which I have. I am incredibly happy that we have come to the end of this journey, and I am incredibly grateful for over 200 subscribers. That is insane, and I appreciate it so much. And I just want to thank you all for being here with me, and I hope you will stay with me for many more years. And now, without any further ado, let's get started. So starting off with the Tidal Class, we have my very first Tidal Class dragon. This is my Shockjaw Saphira. Saphira is a female, and I named her after Saphira from Aragon because I am one of the very few people who actually like that movie. And she is in overall a very gentle dragon. She likes to fly around with me. I don't ride her as often as I like to, but I still train her pretty well, and we do get along very well. Next up we have my Thunderdrum Wavecomer. Wavecomer is a female, and she is a very passive dragon, but in a good way. She is not aggressive, she doesn't really like to fight, she mostly just likes to swim around. She's very calm, very easy to work with, and I did train her really well. Then we also have my second Thunderdrum. This is Fallout Boy. Fallout Boy is a male, and he is complete opposite of Wavecomer. He is very loud, he can be stubborn sometimes, and he is quite a handful, so whenever I'm working with him I have to dedicate all of my energy and attention to him, or nothing good will come out of it. My fourth Tidal Class dragon is my Windwalker Summer. Summer is the fourth dragon that represents one of the 6 direwolves from Game of Thrones, and he of course represents summer. He is a male, and he is a true wild soul. He loves to explore and go on flights and journeys, but he is also very loyal to me, and I did train him really well. We have a really good bond, and I am very proud of him. Then we have my first Sandray. This is Natasha, aka Natasha Romanoff, or Black Widow from the Marvel comics and movies. She is of course a female, and she is just such a good girl. She was very easy to train and very easy to work with. She can be dangerous if she feels threatened or in danger, then she will defend herself fiercely, but she is also very kind and caring, and I am very happy with how she turned out. Then we also have my second Sandray. This is Miss Sunday, named after one of the characters from Game of Thrones. She is very close to Daenerys. They are very good friends and often go on flights together. She is a bit shy. She doesn't really like to go near other dragons unless she really wants to. Although once you get to know her, she is quite a interesting dragon. Next up we have my Liquefier Hymanot. Hymanot is a female, and her name in Japanese means the fast one. And a Liquefier is kind of a rare species. Not a lot of people ride these dragons or train them. I did get an egg for safekeeping, and it hatched, and I did decide to take care of it, and I'm kinda glad I did because she is just a really cute dragon, and once you get to see how well she does, she's actually very easy to work with, and we do have a pretty good bond. Next up we have my Squadron Asha Greyjoy. Asha Greyjoy is another dragon named after characters from Game of Thrones. She is kind of stubborn and can be difficult to make an arrangement with, but once you do get through to her, she is kind of easy to work with. It did take quite some time to train her well, but I am very happy with her progress. And my very last Tidal Class dragon is my Tide Glider Amphitrite. Amphitrite is named after Amphitrite, the Greek goddess of the sea, Poseidon's wife, and I really thought the name fitted her because she is just one beautiful dragon. She has gorgeous colors and markings, and she is a tide glider, so I really thought that the name fitted her. She is kinda shy, but once she is in some sort of a company, she quickly establishes authority. So yeah, she is never second in command, she is always the leader, but it just comes naturally to her and she's quite good at it. So she's a true leader once she actually gets the courage to be one. Starting off with the mystery class, we have my Titan Hideous Zippleback Skycutter. Skycutter is a female and she was my very first dragon that I ever trained. I began my training with her and I love her so much. Even though her model and animations are a bit outdated, she is still a really cute dragon and I just love her so much. My second mystery class dragon is my Death Song Mockingjay. Mockingjay is a female and she is just a very special dragon. Her song is at the same time melodious and also kind of like, literally like she's mocking you. She's very strange in that aspect, but she is also unique, and because of her uniqueness I love her so much. She can be very intimidating because of her colors and her behavior, and just in overall she's a good dragon, even though I did have some trouble with training her. We also have my second Death Song. This is Neytiri. Neytiri is named after one of the characters from Avatar. She is very close friends with Sazé, and unlike Mockingjay, who can be dangerous but she is mostly tamed, Neytiri is just a wild soul. She is not trained or tamed. She comes and goes as she pleases, and if she is on the hunt, she is on the hunt and she will hunt down a dragon and attack it and eat it. The only reason why she doesn't attack me because she knows that I protect her. I raised her since she was a young dragon, and that's the only reason why she doesn't attack me. My fourth mystery class dragon is my Boneknapper Skull, and he is overall just a pretty chill guy. He's never really angry and he's just a really calm dragon. Next up we have my first Flightmare. This is Nymeria. Nymeria is the fifth dragon that represents one of the 6 direwolves from Game of Thrones. She is one of the 2 females. She is the only one that hasn't stayed with her Stark counterparts, so she lived her entire life in the wild, and as a dragon it's pretty much the same. She is very independent. She is kind of a loner. She doesn't really like going to big crowds of dragons, but she is a complete alpha in any group that she makes, and she really doesn't need me, although she does stay with me simply out of loyalty and love. We also have my second Flightmare. This is Cuddlewings. She is also a female and she is a Titan Flightmare, and she was born during Dreadfall. which means that she has the true Halloween spirit. She practically never comes out at day. She is a pure nocturnal dragon. She loves to freak other dragons out and scare them, and she does have glowing eyes. So she is a very haunting looking dragon. Next up we have my smothering smoke breath Gandalf. Gandalf is a male and he is a very mysterious dragon. He is of course named after Gandalf the Grey from Lord of the Rings, and he just really likes to rest, chill, relax. He is kinda lost sometimes in his own thoughts, but I can always count on him. Next up is my armor wing. This is Magneto. Magneto is a male and is of course named after the Marvel anti-hero, villain, hero, something, Magneto. And he is a very complex dragon. He does like solitude, doesn't really do well in big groups, although he can sometimes be stubborn, he can sometimes be easy to work with, sometimes he can be very grumpy, sometimes he can be relaxed, and honestly I really like him for that, because he is not just a simple boring dragon, he has a lot of character and I really like that about him. Continuing with the mystery class, we have Brogan. Brogan is the last of the three main dragons from Game of Thrones. He is the biggest, the strongest of them all, and out of the three I have the biggest connection and the strongest bond with him. He can be very headstrong, but even though he mostly just keeps to himself, he actually has a lot more character than you would first guess, and he is in overall a very good dragon. Following Brogan, we have Hannya. Hannya is my snap trapper. She is a female. She is not named after anything specific, I just really like the name, and she was a really big challenge to train because she has 4 heads. Every one of her heads has her own personality, and that can sometimes be really tricky because one head is kind of bossy, the other head likes to fight, the third head just kind of subdues, and the fourth head is just like spacing out and not really listening. So flying with her or just doing anything with her can be really challenging. Next we have my sweet death. This is Jack Daniel's honey, and she is actually a female, she is not a male, and she is definitely not the prettiest dragon. Her colors are pretty, but just her looks and her overall body and face are really not something pretty, so I don't really ride her very often, and she's pretty lonely, although not just because I don't ride her, but because she doesn't really hang out with any other dragons, and I just simply named her like that because her colors reminded me of that drink, but she is just this really lonely dragon who likes to keep to the side. And my final mystery class dragon, this is my Dramillion Loki. Loki is Thor's and Hela's brother, even though they are all different species, but they are all brother and sister. He is a bit shy, he really likes to play tricks. He is of course named after the Norse god Loki, and he just really likes to play tricks. He is very playful, but he is also kind of misunderstood because sometimes he can be a bit aggressive, but then when he is, everyone attacks him, even though he doesn't really mean anything bad. And really the only thing he requires is just patience, and that's really the key to working with him. And through the years that I have had him, I have grown really proud of him. Starting off the strike class, we have my Squirrel Spark Eye. Sparkai was one of the very first dragons that I have ever trained. I have known her for a very long time, and she is really incredible. She is very strong and has a lot of endurance, both physically and mentally. She is great to work with. We have a really good, strong bond, and I love her a lot. Now we also have my second squirrel. This is White Viserion. Now in my first All of My Dragons video, I did mention that Viserion was the only one of my dragons who could change shape, and that was his original form in the Shovel Helm dragon, and now this is his white form in the form of a squirrel. And basically he is a very deadly dragon. He likes to swoop down from the sky and attack, and then get out of range, recharge and attack again. He is a very wild dragon. He is not tamed or trained really, and he is just a really wild, dangerous dragon, so I try to keep him away from other dragons and riders. My third strike class dragon is my Snow Wraith Frozen Soul. Frozen Soul is kind of the guardian of me and my dragons. She's always just flying somewhere, keeping us in her sight, and just kinda, being very protective of everyone, which means that she is very dangerous if someone tries to do something bad. She is also just a really kind, caring dragon, and I really love her for that. My fourth strike class dragon is my other Snow Wraith. This is Eternity. Eternity is also a female, and she is part of a trio of dragons that is unfortunately not yet complete. She is just an enigma. She appears and then disappears for some time. She can sometimes be by my side, and then the next moment she is flying away and I don't see her for weeks. She is fiercely loyal, she is incredibly dangerous, and she is just basically the true definition of a strike class dragon. Next up we have my Woolly Howl. This is Grey Wind. Grey Wind is the last of the 6 dragons who represent the direwolves from Game of Thrones, and he of course represents Grey Wind. He is the one with the most fighting spirit inside of him. It's not that he likes to fight, but when he has to, he is a true warrior and he never backs down. Then we have my second Woolly Howl. This is Maiden. Maiden is named after one of the 7 gods which are worshipped in the larger part of the 7 kingdoms in Game of Thrones, and Maiden represents purity, innocence, youth, basically the good qualities of all men and dragons. Moving from Maiden, we have reached my triple strike. This is Stranger. Stranger is also named after one of the gods worshipped throughout the 7 kingdoms, and he is the god of death. He is in a very dark blue shade with black details, so he is basically hidden in the night, and he is a very dangerous dragon, a deadly dragon. He is literally the dragon form of death. My 8th strike class dragon is my second triple strike. This is Nyah. Nyah is a female, and while she was still a hatchling, I found her in the woods. Her mother has been killed by dragon hunters, and I took her in to shelter her, and it became my responsibility to care for her and raise her. And I did, which is why she is very loyal to me. She is a bit shy, she doesn't really like hanging out with other dragons, although once she makes a friendship with some other dragon, she does tend to hang out with him and kinda socialize, although it's not very easy for her. My ninth and final strike class dragon is my Death Gripper Bloodstreaked Dusk. Bloodstreaked Dusk is a dragon that I saved from Grimmel, and the battle that I fought against Grimmel took place at Dusk, which is how she got her name. She is fiercely loyal to me because I saved her from that man, which is why she would do anything I tell her to. She is an incredibly dangerous dragon. She can kill if I tell her to, and did kill while she was under Grimmel's command. She is just a very lost dragon, kinda. She doesn't really know where she is. She is very dangerous, but she doesn't want to be, and it's kind of struggling for her, so I'm just trying to help her, and she does appreciate that. We do have a pretty good bond already, even though we don't know each other for that long. But in overall, I am very proud of her and the journey that she has already passed. And with that, we have come to the end of all of my dragons series. This was so much fun to do, to revisit all of my dragons and tell you about them, and I really hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Again, a huge thank you for 200 subscribers and more even. It is incredible. I love all of you guys. So thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, feel free to let me know by liking this video and subscribing to my channel, because it really helps me out and it really means a lot. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next time. So long.